I'm theciaellis and welcome to Grandma's Homestead. In this video we're going to do another in the series of cooking from the pantry, and you know, especially if you have kids, you know they're getting tired of beans and rice and beans, and I have come across a recipe that is almost completely from the pantry, and honestly, if you think about it, the butter could be pantry safe. I know I keep it on my counter quite a bit. Just like that. And I don't have any trouble with it, even, well, if I have the air conditioner running in the summertime. This is a recipe that your kids will love. It's called, I don't know what, I think I heard of a different name for it too, but when I came across it, was called Texas Trash Pie, and it tastes a lot better than it sounds. Now I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. When I make a pie, I go and I get one of those Pillsbury pie crusts from the refrigerator section of the store, but I promised you cooking from the pantry. So we're going to make our own crust today with flour and salt and lard and a little bit of water, and we'll bake our pie crust from scratch. You do what you do, but I promise that I do my very best to make everything from the pantry. So let's make some pie crust first. For the crust, we're going to start with 1 1/4 cups of flour. Quarter teaspoon of salt. And this is just for one crust. This is not a double crust. And this is 1/3 of a cup of lard. I love this thing. Alright, I do not have a pastry cutter, so we're just going to do it with our fingers. After, I gotta get my water out first. It says to use cold water, and so I put some in the refrigerator. I'm just working it lightly between my fingers. We don't want to work it too hard. We're working it lightly. We're going to make it where it's not big pieces like that, but more like coarse cornmeal. So that the lard is worked all the way through the flour and salt mixture. I had an Aunt Diane that, no joke, she made the best pie crust. Like when we were at family reunions, her pie crusts were so beautiful and tasted so good. You can tell by looking that those were hers. Right now, we're going to get our water, and it says 5 to 7 tablespoons at a time. So we're going to take it and sprinkle a little bit. And it says to mix it a little bit. And as it's mixed, and you just kind of push it off to the side and work to the next part of it. Alright, that's looking pretty good. It's coming together well. I am no expert at pie crust, but we're going to try this anyway. See if we can get this to roll out. Probably should have balled it up a little bit more. It's not too bad though. I think it'll work. Okay. See how well it holds together. I've got my oven set at 350, preheating. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all, is it? So then we get it in here, pinch it off. Well, let's fold it over and then pinch it off. It may not be pretty, but we're not here for looks. We're not going to the state fair. We're going straight to our kids' tummies. And then what we do is we do some poking with it so it doesn't bubble up. Alright, our pie crust is done. Let's get started on the pie itself. In a larger bowl, let's take 1 cup of chocolate chips. We've got 1 cup of pretzels. We're going to crunch them up. And the best way I know to do that is just get my rolling pin and start working on them. So it's not way too crunched up, but it's pretty good. Same thing with graham crackers. It says 1 cup of graham crackers. This is 4 full graham crackers broken down. This should be close enough. Let's crunch these up now. We'll add this to the mixture. Now we're doing 1 cup of shredded coconut. A cup of pecans. I scored some English walnuts. These are not black walnuts. Black walnuts are a darker, stronger flavored nut. We're doing English walnuts. These are Kraft caramel bits. And yes, 1 cup. Uh-oh. Looks like somebody's been snacking on my caramel bits. Let's mix that together. Let's stir this all together. This is all just the dry ingredients. This is a coconut, graham crackers, chocolate chips, caramel bits, nuts. Definitely all shelf-stable stuff. We melted our butter, so we're going to drizzle that on it. Mix that in. Well, let's do this first. And this is a can of sweetened condensed milk. We want to get all of that out. And mix this all together. Make sure everything is coated with both the butter and the sweetened condensed milk. There we go. Texas trash pie. We're going to dump this in our pie crust, making sure I haven't forgotten anything. Nope, haven't forgotten anything. So we're going to dump this all into our pie crust. Smooth it all out. Looks like a mess, doesn't it? And we're going to stick it in the oven at 350 for 40 to 45 minutes. Alright, this cooked for about 40 minutes. It's the instructions said 40 to 45 minutes. And then it tells you to let it sit for 15. And so that's what I've done. And you can see the chocolate chips. You can see the caramels in here, the nuts and everything. Guys, my mouth is starting to water because this really is wonderful pie. So let's cut into it. And look how gooey that is. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh, I gotta get the rest of the crust too. That is so good. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this screams fresh whipped cream or ice cream, but I'm not gonna have any of that. I don't have any of that. But isn't that beautiful? Definitely good. Your kids are going to love this. Alright, so now that is another wonderful recipe of basically shelf-stable food. The only thing that's not considered shelf-stable was the butter. But like I said, we store ours on the counter. And it is a very good pie. It's very good tasting. I think you'll really like it. And so, okay. Now, Tim and I are still collecting recipes. It's the name of the cookbook is Cookbook of the Collapse. I'm doing a lot of shelf-stable stuff. I'm hoping to start experimenting pretty soon with freeze-dried foods that we can reconstitute, make into really good meals and stuff too. We have a few recipes that have been given to us. Now, some of them are more based on a homestead type situation, which we can do that too, because if there is a collapse, you're going to maybe need a homestead, which would include things like milk and sausage and, you know, different meats and milk and, you know, just different things that not necessarily would be shelf-stable or freeze-dried type foods. That's okay. Give us your recipes anyway, and we'll figure out what to do with it, because we're going to put this cookbook together. It's going to be a comprehensive book so that if things ever do get to the situation where you don't have electricity, or you need to figure out how to feed your family on a regular basis, where, I don't know, even if the electricity goes out for 2 or 3 weeks because of an ice storm or because of a tornado or whatever it is, you know, then you will have a way to feed your family. So that's what this cookbook is going to be about, and I'm looking forward to putting it together. Send it to, you can send it to my email address. Probably the best one to do it to is theciaellis, theciaellis @gmail.com, and I'll put your recipe in with the rest of them. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. God bless. I'll see you next time.